Hi, I want to welcome you to today's program. I'm Michael Adams, ASA Board Chair and CEO of SAGE. I'm joined by Lisa Gables, ASA's Chair-elect and newly appointed Chair of the American Academy of Physician Assistants. And also joining us is ASA's new CEO, Peter Caldes. Today is an exciting culmination of 7 months of hard work by our new CEO and his team. Our entire board is very supportive of this important effort to reimagine ASA. And as leaders and dedicated professionals in our aging sector, you know firsthand why this matters to our field now more than ever. As you know, last year the ASA board approved a strategic plan that focused on increasing ASA's leadership in the field, expanding membership, growing our diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and launching new policy and advocacy work. And we also launched a new CEO search. Lisa, could you tell us a little more about that?
Thanks, Michael, and welcome everyone. To execute our new strategic plan, we wanted a CEO who understood ASA, its historic role in the field of aging, and had the vision to move it forward. After a 5-month search with hundreds of qualified candidates, the board selected Peter Caldes to lead ASA into the future. Before joining ASA, Peter was president and CEO of the South Florida Institute on Aging, where he led the transformation of a 55-year-old community-based organization by launching new programming, impactful thought leadership, and nearly doubling its budget. Before that, Peter led a $20 million philanthropic economic development portfolio as a senior executive at JP Morgan Chase & Company. He also had a distinguished career in public service, including as Senior Economic Policy Advisor in the Obama White House, the U.S. Department of Commerce, and the Senate. Peter, we are so excited to have you on the ASA team.
Yes, Peter, we could not be more thrilled. So with that, let me turn the baton over to you.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Lisa. You know, when I accepted the opportunity 8 or 9 months ago, I didn't know that I'd be confronted with a cancellation of our signature event, a pandemic, and a shelter-in-place order all in my first week. But it's been an honor and a thrill to lead ASA, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And I want to thank all of you for joining us. The ASA board in particular has been very generous with their support of our efforts these last 7 months. After spending the first 60 days or so in this new role, I spoke with many of our members to understand exactly what ASA needed to do to transform its business and really rise to the challenges that we all faced during this unprecedented time. With our board-approved business transformation plan, we spent the next 6 months tightening our belts, building our internal capacity, and really reimagining new programming and innovative membership experiences. And what you'll see today is a result of a loyal team effort, one that included ASA members, our constituent groups, our staff, our board. It also, though, couldn't be possible without our launch partners, Home Instead Senior Care, CDW, AgeWave, Synergy Home Care, Abbott Nutrition, Lippincott, and Venable. Again, thank you for participating today. Lisa and Michael, thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you, Peter, for your visionary leadership and your team for their amazing work. Now let's see what ASA has in store. So let's run the video.
The American Society on Aging was founded in 1954. 66 years later, people are living prosperous and longer lives. However, many are living with social and economic inequities and inequalities. And the pandemic, it has reminded us that this country doesn't embrace aging. What will happen in 10 years when 1 in 5 Americans will be over 65? The American Society on Aging is transforming itself to tackle the challenges and invest in the opportunities that this demographic change will bring. The new ASA reflects our year-long programming and meaningful membership experience. The new ASA reflects our commitment to unite, to empower and to champion all of you. But most importantly, the new ASA reflects our optimism for the future of aging. On behalf of everyone at the American Society on Aging, I am proud to introduce you to the new ASA.
ASA unites by providing networking systems that promote idea sharing and creative solutions.
ASA empowers as a trusted resource for education, and now we are using our resources to drive research as well.
ASA champions with our united voice that will drive social justice issues and policy change in aging.
I'm Jen Rivera, your new ASA Membership Engagement Manager. We want you to feel comfortable and excited to take advantage of all the new opportunities. And I'm here to help you do just that. I'll be reaching out over the next couple of weeks to help you personally get to know the new ASA. I hope you'll connect with me if you have any questions.
As you've seen, ASA is committed to uniting, empowering, and championing our field. We look forward to hearing your thoughts on all of these new initiatives.
All of our new programs and the ones you have come to rely on are available at www.asaging.org.
You're invited to join this new ASA. Over the next 6 weeks, we'll be holding our membership celebration. And if you join or renew your membership during this time, we'll give you 2 free months as a thank you for your commitment to ASA's ongoing efforts. Well, welcome to the new ASA. I mentioned earlier that we had to build our internal capacity. Well, one way we did this was to hire strong, talented leaders. Joining us today is our first VP of Development and Community Engagement, Cindy Morris. Also, we have our resident gerontologist, Dr. Leanne Clark-Shirley, who is our first VP of Programs and Thought Leadership. They will introduce our new efforts, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them in the field for after the presentation. Leanne, take it away.
Thank you, Peter. Welcome, everyone, to the new ASA. It's such a privilege to be working here, helping to bring the board's vision and Peter's vision to life as ASA begins a new chapter. I've been a member of the organization for about 18 years, and over that time I've watched it evolve in many ways. One of the things I'm really excited about during this particular transformation is that we're keeping and building on what makes ASA such a powerful organization. That's our commitment to education, our publications portfolio, and our very, very strong network of which you're very much a part. As we talk through these slides, I hope that you see these core features are still very much integral to ASA, but also notice how we're amplifying them to bring even more value to what it means to be an ASA member. So let's get into it. ASA's programming, our publications, and our advocacy work are all structured around 5 priority areas: ageism and culture, economic security, equity and justice, health and well-being, and innovation and social impact. These are very broad but fundamental aspects of aging, and they're very much intersecting. We're really excited over the next year to start digging into and understanding these intersections with you, and to continue building very practical but evidence-based resources to support the diverse work that all of our members are doing. And you'll see our work in these priority areas play out as we unite, empower, and champion everyone working in the field of aging. We'll do this through membership benefits that you already know, like access to our publications and presenting at our conference, and also through new year-round programs. So to unite, we're building new platforms for our members to use to connect with each other. Our new On Aging collaboratives are a virtual home where like-minded members can come to share resources and brainstorm around topics like technology and aging or advocacy around our safety nets. While our new ASA regionals are an online meeting place for members in the same geographic region to connect with each other, meet each other, and share resources. Our ASA regionals will supplement a new expanded roundtable program. Many of you might know about and have participated in our successful roundtable events in DC and in the Chicagoland area. So we're really excited to start working this year to expand roundtable events into new cities across the country. Let us know if you would like to help us bring a roundtable event to your neck of the woods. We'd love to have your help. And we can't wait to be together again in person at our annual conference. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen quite yet. But in the meantime, we're really excited about the program that's coming together for our virtual conference called On Aging, coming up in this April. So to empower our members, we're launching a brand new On Aging Institute. This is ASA's new home for year-round educational programming and where we can incubate new partnerships. We're creating practical toolkits, issue briefs, offering webinars with complimentary CEUs, and we're building new partnerships with industry and academic leaders to look at new applied research projects to support the field. On top of that, within the Institute, we're planning 3 generations forums. These are mini conference-style deep dives into a particular topic. So for example, the first one coming up is around tackling the digital divide, and that'll happen this December. So watch out for more information about that and how to join. And to champion, ASA Studios is producing new podcasts and webcasts that feature our members and the work that they do in innovation and in public policy. We're inviting new exciting guests to talk with us. And we're forming an advocacy agenda for the organization. Later in 2021, watch out for a new speakers bureau that you can become a part of and use to support the work that you're doing. While we've been busy amplifying and building new programs and platforms, we've simplified our membership structure. On the left-hand side of this slide, you'll see individual level options for membership. Regular annual membership is $250. If you're a student or retired professional, that rate drops to $100, but gives you the same benefits. On the right-hand side, you see our new organizational level options. For larger organizations, $675 is the annual fee, and that gives you the ability to designate 5 employees to receive benefits. If you're a smaller organization with a budget under $1 million, that price drops to $250, but offers the same benefits. And we want you to know that we designed these options so that we could bring in new members that will be able to grow within ASA, but also that so we can keep and engage our larger organizational members and our most experienced members to keep everyone able to contribute and reap the benefits of an ASA membership. We're really excited for what's coming this year, and we can't wait to hear what you think. So for now, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Cindy, to tell you how all of this will roll out and how you can get involved. Cindy?
Thank you all for being a part of this launch. At its heart, ASA is a society made up of members that are here to support one another. It is a true privilege to work for you and to help bring your vision to fruition. We know that the best way to support one another now more than ever is to bring in more voices, more strength, and more leaders that can hold one another up. And that's why we have built all of our new year-round programming around providing broader, bolder, and more enhanced membership benefits, and why we are kicking off our membership celebration that will run from now until Thanksgiving. And we really want you to be a part of it. We ask 3 things of you. Join or renew your membership before Thanksgiving. Now more than ever, we need one another, and we want to know that we can count on each other. So please join or renew your membership during our membership celebration that ends on Thanksgiving. 2, help launch our On Aging collaboratives and On Aging regionals. This is probably our newest and biggest resource that we are offering our members that you will be able to touch and feel right away. And we really need your help to make it a thriving community with lots of dialogue and constructive conversations and growing synergies. We'd love your ideas for other topics to explore or new ways to connect. This is your new playground. Come meet some old friends and new friends and see what you can build there. And 3, let us know how you want to get more involved. We really, really want to hear from you and get to know you better. In fact, to make that easier than ever, we have a new team member that you met in the video, Jen Rivera. Jen is our new membership engagement manager. She is here to answer your questions, help you to get more engaged, and get to know you and utilize the new programs. And of course, to help you to make new connections and introductions. Drop her a line and help her get to know you so that she can enhance your ASA experience. We are so grateful for all that you are doing and that you are a part of ASA. We cannot wait to see what the new ASA looks like with all of your participation, your ideas, your efforts, and your membership. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you, Cindy, and thank you, Leanne, for the presentation. While we wait for some audience questions, I wanted just to kick us off with asking each of you a couple of questions. Leanne, why don't I start with you? What are you most excited about with this new launch?
All of it is incredibly exciting. It's very energizing, and I'm just excited about the abilities that we have to change how we support the field of aging. Probably one of the things I'm most excited about is our new On Aging Institute, and we're really excited to see what kinds of new partnerships we can grow there. It's sort of like an academic incubator, if you will, for ASA, where we're doing things like putting out an issue brief on how congregate meal programs can respond and pivot during the pandemic. We're building new toolkits on how journalists and people in tech can apply age-inclusive principles into their work. So all kinds of cool stuff going on. I'm very excited about that.
That's great. Cindy, why don't I ask you the same question? What are you most excited about?
I think the thing that I love about all of what we're doing right now is that we're putting the society back in the American Society on Aging, right? Is that everything that we have done as we were building this was we kept the members at the heart of this. We know that right now our members are in many cases on the very front lines of a lot of the most difficult experiences we have ever experienced in our lifetimes. And we recognize that you need such incredible added supports right now, more than ever. And so when we were thinking about this, and as we were working with members, and we were working with the board, when we were working with each other, when we were doing all of this, we just kept coming back to how can we get everybody as much of what they need, and at the heart of it was how can we give people the supports they need, and how can we give them better access to each other? Because in most cases, if we can simply connect each other, the solutions may be there.
So I'm getting lots of great questions that I want to just dive right into. Leanne, the first question that I want to ask you on behalf of our participants here is, how do ASA and AARP work together?
Well, I think we complement each other very well. We've had a long-standing partnership with AARP, but AARP really focuses on understanding the needs of individuals, the 50-plus crowd. ASA, I think we complement AARP by focusing on what our members who work in the field of aging, who work to support people across the life course. We work to support our members' needs. So it's, and also work towards federal level policy that supports our members. So I think there's a nice complement there.
Speaking of policy, we have another question asking about our advocacy and policy efforts. Do you want to give a quick overview of that? Leanne?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. No. So we are, thoughtfully constructing and defining what our policy agenda should be at the organizational level. We have an amazing public policy committee. We've always had. That's something ASA has always had, and we're working on, being very thoughtful about what we should be doing at the federal level and how we can support our members' advocacy efforts at the state level. We have a brand new ASA collaborative around the issue of Medicare and Social Security advocacy. We have a new platform that we will be rolling out where we can push out advocacy opportunities directly to members that target geographic areas that they're living in, help them connect with their own legislators. So we're doing all kinds of stuff.
No, that's really good. Michael, I wanted to ask you a question, and then Leanne, hopefully you can follow up as well. And that is, we've gotten quite a few questions about ASA's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I'm wondering if you could just speak a little bit to why the board deems it such a worthy cause. And then Leanne, talk a little bit about our planned efforts.
Sure, happy to respond to that, Peter. Excuse me. ASA fortunately has a long history of leadership around diversity and equity issues, including through the great work of our constituent groups. In conversations at the board level, as we were crafting the new strategic plan, we recognized the need to build on that history and take it to the next level. And part of that is about ASA being a even stronger and more consistent voice around equity issues in our public work. It means bringing an equity lens into all of the work that we do to ensure that it is always inclusive and reflective of the needs of the full breadth of older Americans. And of course, continuing to up our game internally, continuing to strengthen our cultural competency and cultural humility around diversity and equity issues through internal training and things of that nature. I believe it's probably obvious to everybody, but this is a very timely direction and emphasis on the board's part. Although the plan was adopted prior to COVID-19 and prior to the killing of George Floyd, certainly that direction is even more timely in light of racial disparities in the pandemic and in light of increase in racist violence and anti-racist response.
Leanne, could you follow up with that?
Sure. Yeah. So ASA has named this year from October to September as the year of equity for ASA. What that means is, you probably noticed if you've responded to our call for proposals for our conference, equity is the theme for our conference. The forum that I mentioned that's happening in December around tackling the digital divide, there's very much conversations about what equity means in the tech arena and how we can do better to be more age, gender, race, ethnicity inclusive within the field of tech. On top of that, like Michael said, we're investing in our own internal training initiatives. And some of you might be familiar with a program called the New Ventures in Leadership Program. It's a training program to attract a diverse leadership into the field of aging. We are working to rebuild that, reimagine it, and make it a sustainable thing. So again, that'll happen under our On Aging Institute. Watch for more of that to come.
Absolutely. And Leanne, if you're a member and you're interested in helping us resurrect that really important leadership training program, we encourage you to to get in touch with us. Cindy, I want to ask you a couple of questions that have come up related to membership experience here in the field. Specifically, how do you see ASA working with local leaders?
Right. So I think that is part of the exciting way that we have built out our new communities platform. We have the collaboratives that are by topic, but we've also built out regionals. And I want to explain to that a little bit. So our regionals are where we have broken the entire United States down into 5 regions. And what we are doing is giving us a chance to look at national and global issues on a local and regional basis. What I also want to emphasize in here is that it's an opportunity to share ideas back and forth with each other, but then to take that and we will use that to then field roundtable events that will be on a local level. So, for example, we may be talking in a region that will be serving all of the Southwest, but we may be looking at a roundtable that will take place in Phoenix, Arizona. And so it's an opportunity for us to look at things, not just at the national level, but for us to break it down first at the regional level and then to really get into things at the local level.
Leanne, we're getting a couple of questions related to our strategic priority areas. Could you talk a little bit about how those came about and why we're focused on those?
Sure. Yeah, so like I mentioned, they're very broad areas, but when we thought about where ASA should be working in terms of what aspects of aging ASA should be paying attention to and rallying our members around, those felt like the most critical and also the most broad that represent the range of work that's going on within our membership. And one that I'm particularly excited about is the innovation and social impact priority area. It cross-cuts all of those, and it gives us sort of the freeway to highlight the work going on within the other 4 areas that our members are doing, but in that context of what's new, what's on cutting edge, what's coming up, how are we using solutions from one priority area to solve problems in another priority area. So it sort of gives us the channel to do that. And you'll see that happening not only in our programming, but also in our publications. And I think, too, the way that we're reimagining the work that we do is very intentional in response to the challenges and the opportunities that lie in the field of aging. So it's not throwing spaghetti against the wall. We're being very deliberate in laying out the challenges that we want to take on, how we're going to do that tactically, and featuring what our members are up to that is really interesting and engaging.
There really are so many questions that are coming in, and they're very rich, which I'm not surprised, knowing our audience. One question, Michael, I wanted to ask you relates to where we are right now in the election and how ASA is going to get involved more in policy and advocacy work. The question specifically is about, have we had much impact on our elected leaders, given that some of the debates haven't even included many of the topics related to aging?
Well, certainly we have tried to have, an impact, and I think our impact will become clearer as time goes on. Over the course of the campaign, ASA provided a scorecard to presidential candidates and asked them to answer a series of questions so that we could rate them on key issues for older Americans. And I think that among the benefits of that is to elevate the importance of aging issues for these campaigns, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to translate into those questions appearing in presidential debates or town hall meetings. But I believe what it does mean is that it will elevate the focus on those issues and ASA's role as we move forward after the November 3 elections with whatever the results are, with whatever administration it is that we are working with. And certainly, per our new strategic plan, it is very much a priority for ASA to be a leading policy voice in working with the new administration or a continuation of the current administration in order to elevate the focus on the needs of older Americans, which are so critical and fundamental for many reasons, including the pandemic.
Yeah, I agree, Michael. Aging is very much the ultimate nonpartisan issue. And we have some related questions. Cindy, I want to ask you, we've had a couple of questions from folks who are curious about partnerships, partnerships with local areas on aging, partnerships with other national organizations. Could you talk a little bit about ASA's plan to expand our partnership?
Absolutely. So we're already starting to talk to quite a few organizations about forming partnerships and creating co-branded programs that will be starting to roll out in the coming months. You'll see those start to become publicized. And if you have ideas for others, we would really like to hear about that, and we would like to get involved in those. Reach out to us and please let us know about that opportunity. We are also reaching directly out to opportunities that we see. But for example, a really fun initiative is that we reached out and partnered with a couple of other aging organizations, specifically talking about encouraging our employees to volunteer to be poll workers, and doing that as a united front right now. And there are about 3 or 4 different aging organizations that signed on to that initiative together. So there are different programs that we're doing. Some will be publicly put out to our members, and some of them are policy initiatives, such as that one.
Yeah, and I know so many of you are asking lots of questions about the logistics of all of this, like how do we use our new ASA communities and our new collaboratives online, these digital spaces, and know that in the coming weeks, we're going to have webinars and instructional webinars on how to best use these, as well as collaboratives that might spark your interest. So thank you for asking those questions. I'm going to wrap up, but I'm going to ask one final question, and that's to Michael. Michael, I asked Cindy and Leanne what they're most excited about with this new ASA. What are you most excited about?
I think what I'm most excited about is the tremendous ambition and energy and inspiration behind this re-envisioning of ASA. I hear a lot and I read a lot about folks being exhausted and worn down by these difficult times. And there's lots of reasons to feel that way. But what I love is that we're rising above that at ASA and really pushing forward in a very energetic and ambitious way. And that's what excites me the most.
Yeah, I share that optimism, Michael. I think we have to rise to this moment. There's a lot on all of our respective plates right now. And while it may not seem that a membership experience is a top priority, I can assure you that if we're not united in thinking through how we candidly invent a new future of aging, then, I think we're missing the boat here. So I'm excited that you're part of that you're leading our board. I'm excited for our new team members. Most of all, I'm really just excited about the new ASA. And I want to thank all of you for joining us today. And if you want to learn more, we're actually going to be hosting a brief Facebook Live event at 2:00 Eastern time. So join us there for some more Q&A opportunities. And then please do reach out to Jen Rivera and our entire team here at ASA. We're looking forward to working with you. Again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.